welcome to Yoga with Sarah Ford and the first video of our beginners series. Ooh, I am so excited to start this series because I wanted to create videos that help beginners and those interested in starting yoga to feel more confident about poses and what they are, what they mean. So that's what these videos are for, is to break down a pose, what you're supposed to be feeling, and I will also add modifications and different options for the pose, just so that you feel more confident in incorporating these poses in your daily practice or when you go to a yoga studio. So this first pose that we will be doing is called Easy Pose, also known as Sukhasana, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's supposed to be easy on your body. And so we'll get into this pose now. And this is the pose. So the typical easy pose is done with crisscrossed legs. And what you want to feel in your body is an equal balance of weight on both of your legs and in your hips. And then you want to picture your spine lengthening like there's a string from the top of your head just pulling up so you are lengthened. This is a pose that is typically done at the beginning and end of a yoga practice, and it kind of allows you to ground yourself and just sit with where you are at the moment. And so what do you do with your hands? So one way is placing your hands down and holding your knees, and so that gives you more of a grounding feeling and brings you back into your body. It's really good to use at the beginning of a practice as you just bring yourself into the space getting ready for yoga. The other option is flipping your hands so that they're facing up, and that is more of a receiving kind of gesture. And this is typically done at the end of a yoga practice. And then another option, which is also typically done at the end of a practice, is bringing your hands to your heart. So your thumb is kind of connecting to your sternum. And just feel this connection here of mindfulness and connecting to your heart. And so those are three options you can experiment with. It's really your preference, unless you're guided by your teacher to do one that they prefer. And so the benefits of this pose is that it kind of opens up the knees and the hips, along with lengthening the spine. Because we spend a lot of time throughout the day hunched over and making ourselves smaller. And so we want to allow this pose to just lengthen and expand, particularly upwards in this pose. So over time you might feel a little bit of sensitivity in your back because it's not used to being lengthened like this, and that's okay. You want to know the difference between pain that's uncomfortable that you should stop and just a slight discomfort because of your muscles not used to working. It just depends, and it's important for you to be able to listen to your own body. And so starting in this pose is a great way to listen to your body. And so there are many modifications to this pose. The first one that I've been using a lot is just I don't cross my legs. I let one foot in front of the other, which may be called a different pose, but you typically only do one seated pose like this, so it's finding whatever's comfortable to you. So you can have your foot in front, you can kind of stack your feet on top if you want, or you can also introduce props. So if you want to take a bolster or a block, or if you don't have access to these, you can use a pillow or a folded up blanket or a cushion, and then you just sit on top of it with a little added support. So this takes more tension off of the knees and the lower back, but you're still picturing your spine lengthening. And this is the pose, and you can hold this pose as long as you would like. It's great to start a practice in easy pose because you are centering yourself and getting ready to move your body, but first coming back to feel how you feel. This is also a great pose just to meditate. If this is all you want to do for the day, that is totally okay to just sit in easy pose and meditate. That's awesome, and that is still yoga. So that is our first pose of the beginner series, and I hope that you incorporate this pose some way throughout the week, just allowing yourself to center yourself and ground yourself in easy pose and just explore how that feels in your body and how it might change throughout the week. So thank you so much for watching. You can follow me on Instagram at Yoga with Sarah Ford, and I will see you again next week with our second pose of the beginner series. And namaste.